Hey, Jolly Green 1990 here to talk about the Strawhat Grand fleet. All the members we know, possible members coming up at the end of Wano, the current bounties, predicted bounties at the end of Wano, not the end of One Piece, but just at the end of Wano based on kind of what we've seen them do, and then two other possible members as well. So I'm going to start directly going down the line with Cavendish of the White Horse, whose bounty we knew was 330 million at the end of Dressrosa. He has 75 people. He was a prince. He has another side to him known as Hakuba, who essentially comes out who can use hockey. And so I think based on that ability, his ability to use hockey, his swiftness, Hakuba's, I think he will have a devil fruit the next time we see him. So I'm going to put him between 400 and 500 mil. And then I also want to mention that he had Suleiman, who joined his crew. Based on his strength we saw in the Coliseum, I want to say 100 mil, maybe less, but just the fact that he was the one we really know about. We know he has said 75 members as well, probably including Suleiman, but that was the one they really mentioned and made note of at the end of the Next, my man, Bartolomeo with the barrier fruit. I love Bartolomeo. I love his personality. I love his design. I think Bartolomeo, the cannibal, he's got essentially the goth punk look, but he's a swell guy, a guy you can count on. His bounty was 200 million berries at the end, based on the recent chapter of The Road to Laughtail Part 4. If you've not seen my video, please go check it out. Please give me comments and likes on it as well. So getting back to Bartolomeo, we knew it was 200 mil. His right-hand man, Gambia, was 7,700 million at the end, or during Dressrosa, remember. So for me, next time we see Bartolomeo and Gambia, I think Bartolomeo, reasonable bounty would be 350 million, considering not just his likability, but what he was doing, essentially going after Shanks' territory, and the fact that I think he will have some form of hockey. Gambia being his right-hand man, I think of the fact he's right there with him, will be around 150 million. It's hard to tell based on we haven't seen a lot, but that's just my personal opinion. Next, Don Sai of the Hapo Navy. I know I'm probably destroying that, forgive me. I'm going to focus on Sai, Don Chenjiao, Baby 5, and his brother, and the brother Boo. So Sai did not have a bounty at the end, but to me, I want to probably put him at 300 mil, considering him and Ido, next member, were using what looked like a very basic form of hockey. And the fact the Hapo Navy uses kind of like sonic waves, I think, to me, would be put him decent 300 mil. I also want to mention the fact that his grandfather was, I think, 500 mil, and Dressrosa, according to The Road to Laughtail 4, is 550 mil. So they're doing something that's getting this bounty. And so I don't know if Chenjiao's bounty would increase, but I think maybe Baby 5's, where we saw Baby 5 with the weapon, some kind of weapon where essentially can transform her body into different weapons. I think based on that ability alone, at least 50 million, if not more. Sai's brother Boo, I think, with the fact that maybe not use hockey, but the fact that he could use their different martial arts, 100 mil. To me, that seems fair. Now, might be higher, might be lower. I mean, we don't even get it, but to me, that would seem based on what we've seen and read about. So moving on, Ido. I said to me, Ido to me is another, I put right at 300 mil. The fact that when we saw him, Dressrosa looked like he could use some kind of basic hockey. He was going blow to blow with Sai. And I forgot to mention, Sai has 1,000 men. Ido has 4, so it's himself, Ido, Blue Gilly. So Ido is a little long arm, Blue Gilly is long leg tribe, Abdullah, and Jeet. I want to mention, I love Abdullah and Jeet, their whole little thing with Uzi the Bull, Hoppy, and Luffy. Yeah, they kind of seem like backstabbing jerks, but to me, they came out okay in the end, and I like their personality. I like the idea of these goofy, idiot guys who, based on what we saw, look like they get along great with Usopp, so they kind of hit his personality. So to me, I said Ido, I think, would be 300 mil. Blue Gilly, anywhere between 100 and 300 mil. Abdullah and Jeet, I think they're stronger, but we haven't seen it a whole lot, and their ingenuity, based on the cover story we saw. So I'm putting them between 5 and 25 mil. I want to say Jeep might be lower than Duelist because the Duelist got his physical frame. Next, number 5. Leo of the Tantala tribe did not have a current bounty. We knew he was going to do something based on, we also saw him in the Reverie arc. It's like, oh, my pirate was talking to some other people. And so that fact that he was going to do something, the fact that he has the so fruit, and also the main cherry who has the heal fruit will join him. We also know that Tantalas are typically naturally stronger than most people. So based on that, his so fruit and the possibility of what he could do, I want to give him probably thinking at least 200 mil. Next, going to Hardin. Hardin has 5 members. We know Hardin, Stanson, Gerd. There's 2 other members. One of them is girl. I don't remember the other 2. From what I could see, it wasn't a lot. I'd have to do some real hard digging. Stanson, I mentioned, is shipwright. Gerd is the doctor. I think, based on the fact that Hardin admired the giant pirates and each Dory and Bragi had 100 mil, I don't see Hardin maybe getting super higher than that, but I would put him anywhere between 100 and 200. 350 is reasonable. And then every other member of his crew I could see getting some bounty. Maybe a lot, but like maybe 5. Honestly, if they're as tenacious as him, maybe anywhere between 25 to 75 mil. Last but not least, for current members, we know Olympus, who has the most members, 4,300 people. Based on the fact that he is well known, he had crossed the world a lot, he's got a lot of people, and the fact that we saw a decent strike, he could at least handle a whip. I want to put in probably 75 mil. And then Columbus, his right-hand man or woman, we don't know. Based on what I can see, I'd put it anywhere between 1 mil and 5 mil. Now, that wraps up my opinion on Strawhat Grand Fleet members that we know. So we've got Cavendish, Bartolomeo, Don Sai, Haponevi, Ido, Leo Tantalos, Hardin the Giants, Olympus. Several other members that we've met, and also based on the personality I think will join, or if they already haven't, are Bellamy and Marco the Phoenix. Bellamy, based on the fact that Luffy saved him after beating him before, and he continued worked with him, and he continued encouraged him. I think Bellamy is either going to join as an official member, or kind of as a like assassin group or person. If there's someone who's targeting Luffy, he'll take care of them in the shadows. Bellamy with his spring fruit had 195 mil that we know of at the end of Dressrosa, and according to the Road Laugh Tale Part 4, that's what it was still listed as. So I could see, honestly, him fighting, competing with some of the supernovas. So I would put him anywhere between 200 to 300. I don't see him above 400 based on some of the other people I mentioned who could be that high, but I definitely see him a possibility being between 2 and 3. And I'd be curious to see if he joins another crew, if he gets more crew members, what. And then Marco the Phoenix, who his IMT is 1,374,000,000. I definitely see his bounty possibly going up to 1.5, if not higher. The fact that he was instrumental in healing a lot of people, working with some of the samurai, fending off King and Queen, fending off Sparrow from time to time. So yeah, he didn't defeat them a lot, but he did a lot of back and forth, jumping, holding off people, as well as commanding. So to me, that alone says a lot. And so I think with that, 1.5, I also think for bounty, I also think the fact that if he could get the samurai, the other remnants we don't know of who survived, possibly joining the Grand Fleet. So the Grand Fleet was right around, Strawhat Grand Fleet was right around 5.6, 5,600 people at the end of Dressrosa. I think at Wano, we're possibly looking again, jumping to 6 or 7 by the end. If we're going to have an all-war, which a lot of people think they're going to, Strawhat's going to have with government, I'm honestly thinking anywhere between, whether it's the Grand Fleet or all his other allies, a total of 22, or between 100,000. I would say reasonable, maybe 50,000 people. That's still a lot of people for Rhoda, the author, to draw in. So I'm thinking, keeping it safe, 20 to 30,000 people. Now, these are my thoughts on Strawhat Grand Fleet. If you like the video, please like it. Please comment. As I'm starting out, I want to get your opinion. The whole reason I'm doing this is just to talk to the community. I love One Piece, so I want to talk to people about it. If you didn't like the video, Give me a negative, tell me why. Jolly Green 1990, signing out.